Are you want to learn some Spanish? Are you interested in learning the language of Español? Eso está muy bien porque tú sabes, yo aprendí español cuando yo tenía como 8 años. Yo empecé a aprender español. I started to learn when I was like 8. So you just ran into a real good channel, and I'll show you why. I got some tips. Lo siento, yo soy el negrito. Si tú no sabes, I'm a negro. I'm just some black guy, who learned Spanish in school. Who cares? I just want to give people some tips about how to learn. It's really not difficult at all. Primero quiero decir lo siento, yo no he hecho videos para mucho tiempo. Yo he estado muy ocupado, trabajando. I've been real busy. I'm a manager at a gym now and a personal trainer. Watch this. See that? Look at that. See that? Hold on. Other one. Yeah, man. So that's what I've been doing. I eat natural now. I've been clearing my mind, learning a lot. Eating healthy. I only eat chicken, fish, fruits, vegetables, beans, nuts, and brown rice. Cacahuete, frijoles, pollo, pescado, frutas, vegetales. Tú sabes, las cosas así. I said, man makes it, don't eat it. But that's a different point. I've been, trying to clear my mind, do a lot of things. But I got some tips for learning Spanish. So if you really wanted to learn the language of Espanol, you came to the right place. I'll show you a nice place where to begin. A lot of people are wondering, how do you learn Spanish so good? Where do you begin? How do I get to that point? Like it just you sound amazing. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is where I started. First, I started off asking a few questions, but this is where you really start to learn when you begin to study verbs. And it's important to know verbs because it's important to know, when you're referring to, when you're saying I play or she play or he plays. You have to know who to refer to and how to say it in that way. A verb always ends in AR, ER, or IR in Spanish. So to play means jugar, okay? To learn means aprender. To write is escribir, So it's all, you can say a verb, but you have to learn how to direct the verb towards another individual or a group of individuals. And that's very important. That's going to get you. So I made a little chart. I might be stupid. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm probably an idiot. Who cares? At least you guys will learn something. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to waste no one's time. So I'll start off with AR. So if you can see here, caminar means to walk. So if you're saying I walk, you'd say yo camino. And when you're referring to yourself, it's always going to end in an O, no matter if it's an AR, ER, or IR. That's very important to know. So when you're starting off learning Spanish, you want to definitely study verbs. You want to learn the rules. Once you learn the rules, Spanish is going to make a lot more sense to you. People just think you just start talking. There's actually rules and regulations to follow. Okay? So when you say yo, which means I, if you can see right next to it, I don't know how well you guys can see this. Yo camino. Tú, which is you, caminas. He or she, or you formal, if you're speaking to a professor, that's what I mean by formal, or someone with a higher authority. He, she, and you formal, él, ella, and usted, you camina. Okay? So if you're saying he walks, you say él camina. If you're saying she walks, ella camina. You walk, tú caminas. I walk, yo camino. We, which is nosotros caminamos. And you don't have to say the actual reference word. You don't have to say nosotros caminamos. That's optional. You can just say caminamos, and that means we walk. You can say él camina. You can say caminas. You walk. You can say tú caminas if you want, but it's optional. So they, ellos, or if you're referring to a group of girls or females, you say ellas caminan. So yo camino, tú caminas, usted, él, ella camina, nosotros caminamos, which is we, they, ellos, and ellas caminan. Okay? And I'm also going to leave a link with a very insightful website that has a lot of verbs, and it has a lot of the direct tenses, how to refer. It has like a chart similar to this, but a lot better, more professional. I kind of just wing this pretty much, but who cares, you know? Like, it's informative, so learn something and don't make no negative comments, because I'm trying to be, I don't know, I never taught Spanish really, but maybe, hopefully you could learn something, you know? Pero bueno, if you can see here, I'm gonna just do another AR just so I, once again, yo nado, always a no matter what verb, if you're referring to yourself. Tú nadas. Usted, él, ella, which usted is you formal, él is he, ella is she, ella nada, she swims. Nosotros nadamos, we swim. Ellos, ellas nadan, they swim. Okay, and if you're referring to guys and girls, you always say ellos, because the masculine in Spanish is dominant. So if there are a group of guys and girls, ellos nadan. If they're just females, ellas nadan. Okay, and study these rules, and it applies to every AR verb. So if you can see the caminar and nadar, even though one means to walk and one means to swim, there's the exact same regulations and rules. So once you follow those rules and learn how to follow them, you'll learn Spanish in no time. Well, you'll be great at verbs, and you can move on to nouns, and you can move on to the past tense of the verbs and all that good stuff. So it's a little slightly different, but pretty much the same. I'm sorry, I don't know how to hold this. I'm trying. Forgive me, you know. Who cares? Yo aprendo. Okay, so it's the same as the AR. Tú aprendes. Okay. He or she, él, ella, aprende. We, nosotros, aprendemos. They, ellas, ellos, aprenden. Okay, so just find a group of verbs. And like I said, go to this website that I'm going to post a link about. Find a group of verbs and apply the same rules apply to all. So if you know if it ends in ER and you're saying we do something, you know it's EMOS, okay? So it's always nosotros aprendemos, the same regulations, okay? Same rules. IR is going to be slightly different. See. Okay, but it's IR and ER pretty much go hand in hand. The only difference is going to be, man, I don't know how to hold it. I'm sorry, guys. Who cares, though? I mean, okay. There we go. Should I start this video over? No, I'm not starting this video. I might have to start this video. I'm an idiot. No, I'm not starting it over. At least you guys get the information. Who cares? So, escribir. Slightly different than ER. Yo escribo, always. Tú escribes. You write. Nosotros escribimos. So that's the only difference. As you can see, aprender, aprendemos. But the only difference between the ER and the IR is the nosotros is going to have an I instead of that E. So nosotros escribimos. Él, ella, he or she escribe. Ellos escriben. They write. Okay? So once you master the present tense of the ER, AR, and IR, what you want to do is move on to the past tense. And once you have the past tense, you're going to be phenomenal. So what I would do primarily is learn the meaning of all these verbs. Learn nadar, memorize it. I would do flashcards or write down a whole bunch of flashcards of, okay, es caminar, to walk, correr, to run, jugar, to play, aprender, to learn. And then once you do that, you study how to direct it towards people in the present tense and then the past tense. And then you learn nouns like sports, or you learn how to say yo camino por la calle. La calle means street. Then you can now know how to, once you know the nouns, you know how to reference that and intermingle them with the verbs. So like I said, just start off with that. That's how I started off. Just really studying the verbs, really getting to know the verbs and how to direct it towards a group of people, or we, or I, myself. And once you learn how to do that, cuando aprendes eso, tú sabes, todo vas a estar bien, tú vas a estar perfecto y vas a aprender español. Okay? And people wonder too, like, oh, how'd you learn to speak so good? How'd you learn this? Honestly, it's all pretty much imitation. Like when I started speaking Spanish, when I started to learn, cuando yo empecé a aprender español, yo hablé como mexicano viejo, you know, like I spoke, they're like, this Mexican girl's like, you just sound like an old Mexican grandpa, you know, you're black, that sounds weird. And I don't know, all I was around was Mexican, so I kind of just like spoke like that and was trying to, but I'm just like, man, you know, I kind of just started looking into the Caribbean accent, and I'm like, alright, if I'm gonna speak Spanish, I kind of want to speak it this way, so it'll be more like, you know, I kind of prefer that accent anyway, looking like how I was, but you can speak however you want to speak. All you do is pretty much imitate. I started listening to Tego Calderon interviews, Daddy Yankee, Pitbull, Dominicans. I pretty much mix all the Caribbean accents and imitated that. When I listen to the interviews, I just try to speak it like they spoke it. And I just really listened to what they were saying, and if I didn't know what something meant, I looked it up, like, oh, what does this word mean? What does this word mean? And I just wrote it down, and I remembered it, because it's something I really wanted to learn. Like I said, if you have that passion, and you really want to do something, you're going to see it. But if it's kind of something, you know, I'll give up, then, you know, you're not going to learn. So, like I said, you can speak however you want to speak. Spanish speakers who come here, how do they learn to speak English? They kind of imitate that American accent. You know, if you don't want to sound crazy speaking a language or Americanized, like, yo voy a jugar fútbol americano, you know, you're going to sound ridiculous, and people are just going to be like, man, you know, you kind of want to imitate that. Just like some people copy a Jamaican accent, like, the more you accept the Rastafari. You know, what you want to say? Boy? You know, you just like copy that. You know, and once you copy that, once you embody that, you know, and listen to, you know, do what you want to do, you're definitely going to learn Spanish. So, like I said, start with the verbs, and I'm going to be helping you guys out with nouns, and, you know, just how to, you know, pick up nouns and intermingle the verbs with the nouns, and then you'll do sentences, and then it's all going to be clear to you. You're like, I understand this Spanish stuff, you know, it's just the rules are going to sink in, and you're going to learn Spanish. So that's my take on it. That's my advice. If you want to learn, you want to learn. Before I end this video, one more time, hold on. Man, I used to be so fat. Who cares? I just get happy. I'm not trying to concede it. I just be happy, like, man, you could put on muscle just by eating natural and lifting and working hard. Hard work, man. It's just hard work brings positive results in every way. Like, I speak Spanish, I transform my physique. Like, I just love hard work and dedication to something, you know. It just makes you such a strong-minded person. So you can learn Spanish. Don't give up hope. Okay? Don't do what this little boy Jimmy Pepino did, you know, or I forgot his full name. Like, he started to learn Spanish, he was getting good, then he just stopped, you know, like, I'm like, why'd you stop, man? I just didn't quit, you know. So just persevere, really have a passion for it, really study and really learn, and you're going to speak Spanish in no time. That concludes this episode. See you guys next time. Yo soy Negrito que habla español, y gracias para todo el mundo que está mirando mi video ahora. Tú sabes, estoy muy agradecido que tengo la gente aquí, tú sabes, ahí que está mirando mi video, porque sin ellos, tú sabes, yo no soy nada, ¿qué? Pero bueno, pues estoy hablando porque, bueno, porque estoy contento, y ahora soy entrenador, estoy haciendo ejercicio todos los días para mi mente, tú sabes, para aclarar todo. Pero bueno, estoy caminando, estoy corriendo, estoy, tú sabes, haciendo mucho peso aquí en el gimnasio, y bueno, tú sabes, estoy muy contento para tener la vida que tengo ahora, gracias a Dios, tú sabes. That ends it, that concludes it. Until next time.